Good morning, guys. Happy Monday morning. It's not Monday where you are, unless it's like way down the road, but we'll deal with that later. It's like almost 9 a.m. here, and actually, it's a cold morning, but as you may be able to see, it's not quite as wet as I would have expected. After all the rain that we had last night, I really expected it to just be everything squishy, but it looks like it's mostly dried up. The ground is probably pretty wet, but whatever. I have not heard yet if Duncan's going to have soccer practice today or not. If I had to guess, probably, but we will see closer to time, I assume. But as it is a Monday morning, I have to get into work. And you know, I've said this many times before, but I have got to get back on the bandwagon as far as weight loss is concerned. I got down really skinny back in 2014, like entirely too skinny, and then I started putting back on weight because I started working for a new company, and that has not turned out well. You know, over the course of 2014, I did really well, but then 2015, just all of a sudden, because I was sitting at home all the time, you know, I was trying to stay to the treadmill as much as possible, but still, without having the healthy eating habits, and sitting at home with my entire pantry full of food, of course I don't have those healthy eating habits, means that I definitely put back on some weight. I got a little bit motivated last night. I ended up watching a Wheezy Waiter vlog for some reason. I used to subscribe and religiously follow Wheezy Waiter. He's an excellent YouTuber if you haven't seen his stuff. He's got like 600,000 followers. But up until about 2 months ago, he was doing, you know, several videos a week, just short scripted videos, and they were great. But he got tired of doing it, so he actually started doing more vlog style content. The funny thing is, this is almost exactly what I've been kind of thinking of doing with my tech videos, where you turn it, sort of the tech video, into part of a daily vlog. Well, he's turning his comedy videos into a bit of a daily vlog, and they appear to be doing decently well for him. And he's kind of at the point where he doesn't really care so much how they do, he's just more concerned with making videos that he's happy with. But the reason I mention him is because he's been doing these things to try to lose his weight. Not that he was big guy or anything, but try to lose the weight and try to live a healthier life. And that's something I've just definitely got to try to do myself. And it looks like most of what Craig's been doing, I'm going to start calling him Craig now, just because calling him Wheezy Waiter's kind of weird. But most of what Craig has been doing is that he's been doing the 7-minute workout, at least one repetition of it every day. And then he's been running at least 3 to 4 days a week. He's doing a marathon training regimen, so that's definitely helping a lot. Not to say I'm going to start running 4 days a week or anything, but I'm going to try to start running 2 days a week and then maybe increase that to 3 days a week, increase my distance, and of course I'm going to try to start doing the 7-minute workout. I've got the app installed on my phone, and what you're supposed to do is you do the 7-minute workout. That's just a series of relatively simple exercises, and you take 10-second breaks in between 30 seconds of doing the exercise, and after you've done it 7 minutes, you're supposed to do it a second time, and maybe a third time. But you can start out just doing it in 7-minute increments. And it's those very small, pocketable sizes that have been really excellent for me in the past. There was Tony Horton had a 10-minute trainer where you do a 10-minute workout, or several 10-minute workouts, as many as you wanted to do, up to like 3 or 4. And I was doing 2 to 3 of those a night for a little while, and that definitely helped. It's just a matter of getting into the routine of doing it. Now, the 7-minute workout is going to get really repetitive really quick. But we'll still give it a shot. I mean, the worst case scenario is just that I start doing it, it helps me get in slightly better shape, and then eventually I move back into something like P90X and running, because I really liked the shape that I was in when I was doing P90X. Looking back over those XDA videos, the little montage they put together of me, you can definitely see all the phases of Jordan, and it's the part where I was about 165 to 170 pounds, when I had a little bit of muscle on me and I didn't look so sickly. That's kind of where I would like to be, which means that I do have some weight that I need to lose and I'd have to make some muscles, but I think it's doable. I think it's very easily doable. It's just a matter of getting back on the horse and not making silly decisions. So still on my way into work, but a bit of a weird thing. As you guys probably know, I've been using the Galaxy S7 and Galaxy S7 Edge for the last little bit. When I'm in the car, sometimes I tend to use the aux plug, the 3.5mm jack, in my car instead of using Bluetooth. When I'm switching back and forth between devices, sometimes it can be just more convenient to plug in as opposed to, But what I've noticed is with both the S7 and the S7 Edge, if you get beyond a certain threshold in terms of the audio coming out of the device, it has some massive static that suddenly happens. It does not happen when I'm using headphones. It's only happening over the 3.5mm. And I've only noticed it in the car because I only plug into speakers in the car. So what I'm going to have to do when I get home is plug one of these phones, or both, into an external speaker, like a 3.5mm out to a speaker, to see if it happens with any sort of external source other than headphones. Because I've used this 3.5mm jack in the car before with a bunch of other devices devices and never had a problem out of it, but it's consistently happening with both the S7 and S7 Edge, and it's not just one specific app. I've tried the YouTube app, the Google Play app, Pandora, just several different audio sources. So if you have one of those devices, definitely let me know if you're having the same kind of problems if you plug in a 3.5mm jack, not to a pair of headphones, but to some sort of an external speaker. I am a wizard. Yes, I went into the office this morning, and the app that I've been working on, it gets some stuff done, but I was nowhere near where I wanted to be when I went in today. So I sat there and just worked for like, let's say an hour, not even an hour, like 30 to 45 minutes. And I added some ridiculous, amazing functionality such that when my boss came walking in a little bit later than our normal meeting time, I started scanning barcodes and I started showing him what you could do with it. And he's like, that's really nice. That's good. It still needs some UI work because it's really, really ugly, but the functionality is there. That's the really important part. And the whole core of it, the real issue, the problem I was having was doing a many-to-many relationship with it so that you can have all these items in our asset management system and all of the maintenance agreements that go along with them, but those maintenance agreements need to be able to apply to multiple different items, and the items need to be able to have multiple different maintenance agreements. So it's a big convoluted mess. So I've got all of the stuff being managed from the maintenance side of things, such that you have a maintenance agreement you create, and then you associate items with it, and you can do those associations with the barcode scanner. It's really cool. But for now, I have to run over to Sam's. I'm actually at Sam's, as you may be able to see in the background. I called Christina just to say, I'm going to Sam's, do you need anything? And that very quickly turned into, here's a grocery list. Fun times. And I've made it home, and it's just in time for a little bit of lunch. It's actually already 12:30, so I should have eaten, but gonna grab something quick. So it's a little while later. I'm gonna be getting Duncan off the bus here in like 45 minutes or something. I've been trying to be productive, but not having much luck. But I forgot to mention, when I got home yesterday and the boxes were here and everything, of course I had the tripod dolly that I mentioned before, but also had this battery backup. It's got 12 outlets on it, and as compared to the UPS that I currently use, it does a lot more. The one that I currently use, I think, is 350 VA, which is like 200 watts. This one's 850 with 510 watts. And I have no idea what all of that means. I know it has to do with the amount of capacity and load that it can take and whatnot. And it's got a nifty little LCD on it, and I think you can actually hook it up over USB and do stuff managing it and monitoring it and everything. And there's some eco-controlled switches so you can actually turn things on and off automatically for power saving mode. But of all the ports on here, these are the ones that are actually on the battery, whereas the UPS I'm currently using only has 6 ports and 3 of them are battery supported. This has 12 and 6 are supported. So that's a major plus in my opinion. Okay, wow, that came together ridiculously fast. It was literally just take these arms and snap them into place and then pull the arms out from the sides. And you've got the instructions right here, show the steps, but I didn't use them. I just started messing around with it and it came together. I mean, it rolls pretty nicely. It's got some, it's not hugely solid, I'm just gonna say that, but you wouldn't expect it to be right in the middle because there's nothing supporting it there. But at the corners here, where the actual tripod legs will be, it seems pretty good. And there you have it, about 30 seconds later with the tripod attached to it. And basically at this point I can just sort of push it around wherever I want it to go. And the point is not necessarily to have something that I can have the camera on and just slide like this, but I guess technically I could if I wanted to. But you can see it kind of bumps around a little bit whenever it hits the little seams in the floor. No, the point for this, for me, was to have something such that whenever I want to be filming over there, I can be filming over there. When I want to film something over here, I just grab it and drag it around, and then there we go. We're over here ready to film. And I can even take it and just step down on this to help lock it in place. Each one of these wheels has a little stopper on it that locks it down, and now it's ready to just be a solid tripod. Cool. I know the obvious question there is why not just pick it up and move it around? This tripod in particular does not have any sort of mounting equipment in here, something to hold it in place. I have a bigger, much heavier tripod that does have all of that, but I just haven't been using that. This thing collapses down so quickly, makes it easy and portable. But now, because of this, I can actually have a little bit of the best of both worlds. And just like that, we're moving again. We're ready to go. Very, very cool. I'm a fan. Okay, a little bit disconcerted now. I went out to get the mail, and there was a package in there. Package I wasn't really expecting. And this is what was inside of it. It's a little styrofoam packed box. It said it was from a company called That Thing You Love. I don't have any clue what this could possibly be. Oh, very, very cool. I got an email a few weeks back from a company, I think it was on Engineerable or something like that, and basically they were just saying, hey, by the way, if you are a Pebble Time owner, here's this wonderful new project that you can use to dock your Pebble Time. You may or may not have noticed in the most recent vlogs, I've actually moved back to wearing the Pebble full time as my main watch. There are some updates coming for the Basis Peak. I'm going to be doing another video on that down the road, but until those updates are actually there, I'm switching back to the Pebble Time until I can do that review. Well, to go along with the Pebble Time, I've got a 3D printed dock that I normally use, but they made a metal dock. So I'll probably turn this into a video actually. What do you think of him? Is he funny? You say hi to Pooh, Ellis? Wow. There's another one overhead. You got two Poohs. Hello. Hello, everybody's home. And there's a little booger. Hi, little booger. He's in a super good mood.
I'm a big booger.
You're the biggest booger.
You are a big booger.
Oh, and we got a tuna melt. Mmm. That better. You got his little cow. He's just so happy now. Yeah. And it's a little while later. Okay, it's a lot while later. I went ahead and pulled this Cyber Power 850 VA UPS out. And first thing I noticed here is it says plug in for 8 hours to charge first. So it's kind of a good thing I didn't decide to do a video on this because, not that it's a big deal, but in the middle of the video I'd have to stop, plug it in, and then start back up at least 8 hours later, which is next to impossible. But still, this is a lot bigger than I anticipated it would be. That's my hand for scale. I don't have a banana. And it's actually decently heavy, like it's kind of really heavy. That said from the guy that's not been working out. I hear a lot of happy talking coming out of here.
I'm a good boy, Daddy. Chicken. I'm a good boy.
Just talking and being happy?
I got Mama's finger and I won't let go.
He's not eating it.
Nope. He tried.
And I just thought I'd bring the Osmo out very quickly for a little bit of testing with sunset. Wow. Yeah, so I've got to spend a lot more time with the Osmo. That was ridiculous. Honestly, that kind of footage mixed in with drone footage would be amazing. I mean, some of that, I don't know how much of that I'm actually going to be able to include. I just walked down between my neighbors' houses down to the little lake, and it was just beautiful over there. That would have been ideal drone footage, but I didn't have the drone out there with me. Now I'm just trying to find my micro SD reader so I can pull the footage off, put it on the laptop. Oh, he's loving on his little Easter bunny. You like that thing? Yeah. And in a surprising turn of events, it's just after 11 p.m. and I am down here alone. Everybody else is in bed. Ellis had a weird bottle schedule today. He started going a lot longer between bottles. So instead of like 2.5 to 3 hours, it's now like 4 hours. And he's taking larger bottles, that's very, very good. So when it came time for bottle at 10 o'clock, Christina said, give him the bottle after he's done, bring him on upstairs. So once he was pretty thoroughly asleep, pretty close to 11 o'clock, I said, cool, let's put him to bed. So hopefully he will stay asleep the majority of the night. And as for me, I'm actually going to start looking through some footage that I've got. Like I've been saying for so long, I've got to ship this iPad out. I've got to get this video done about it. Not about the iPad, but about the 3D scanner sensor thing. So I'm going to look and see what footage I've got, exactly where I left off with it, what I have on the iPad itself as far as the apps for the 3D scanner, and try to finish up anything I can about it. And that's probably going to be about all for me for today. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of Osmo footage earlier. That was awfully fun and just something I've been wanting to do more of. The Osmo and the Phantom 3. I want to spend more time using those because they're such good cameras and the gimbals are just amazing. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Look forward to more footage out of those things. Maybe more videos about them on the main channel. We'll see you again tomorrow.